The London Fire Brigade, LFB, was left with an estimated £1 million expenses following the state funeral of Her late Majesty and associated events. Graham Smith, the chair of the anti-monarchy group Republic, claimed it was shocking the brigade had to foot the bill, adding the royal household should cover the costs related to the funeral. He told National World, "Our public services have seen huge cuts over the past decade, yet now the LFB is expected to fork out £1 million for the Queen's funeral. Why is the royal household not paying? Time and again the royals expect everything to be paid for by the hard-pressed public. At the time of the Queen's death, Charles avoided an inheritance tax valued at hundreds of millions of pounds. Why wasn't some of that used to cover the cost of the funeral? It's time the royals paid for their own public events, so the public can rest assured that our emergency services have the resources and funding to do their job." The LFB is normally funded by London's council taxpayers and through central government funding. The Home Office, as explained by the LFB in a statement, will provide funding against the costs it incurred for the funeral. A London Fire Brigade spokesperson told the publication, "When the Queen's funeral took place, the eyes of the world were upon London. As the fire and rescue service looking after the nation's capital city, we took pride in ensuring that Londoners, and its visitors, were kept safe. We have recently received confirmation that the Home Office will provide funding against our costs. With this support the brigade's spending comes to 0.065% of the total budget for 2022-23. The Queen's funeral was a historic moment for London. We're proud the brigade played its part in protecting the public and our communities. We look forward to supporting the King's coronation in May of this year and wish for a safe event." The financial report published by the LFB mentioned among the expenses some £330,000 on subsistence, training and premises. The overtime for staff and the costs incurred through the bank holiday are also included in the reports, and placed at £670,000. The report, titled Financial Position as at the end of September 2022, is described as dealing with the LFB's strategic priority of delivering excellence. Firefighters played a huge role during the 10 days of national mourning that followed the Queen's death on September 8 and the day of the funeral. Among their duties, LFB members had to audit and inspect buildings to minimize fire risk ahead of their use. Firefighters also had to inspect floral tributes left by mourners in the royal parks and painstakingly plan how to respond to possible incidents across London within 6 minutes despite the street closures created by events linked to the mourning of the monarch. We'll be bringing you the very latest updates, pictures and video on this breaking news story. Stay up to date with all the big headlines, pictures, analysis, opinion and video on the stories that matter to you.